Hey, and welcome to Breaking Bread, hosted by us. It's Crunk Chocolate and Sharpie Charlie. How's it going, show, bro?
Man, it's a Wednesday. It's been a hump day. It's been a big hump day. How about you?
Yes, sir. I agree. I'm doing my final things before my trip tomorrow. Everything's nice and cleaned, vacuumed, wiped down. I wanted to be able to, when I come home, have a nice, clean home that I can just kind of relax and decompress as much as possible before having to get back into the chaos of life. But
You're
yeah,
such an adult, man. You're really grown. Like that's some real like my mom and grandma would be proud of that. I could never. It's a lot of chaos over here. I leave how I
oh,
leave it. I want to get like you one day.
I I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Well, we are here to talk some Manchester City versus Chelsea. Breaking Bread is whenever City have an upcoming match, we're here having a conversation with a supporter of City's upcoming opponents. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video, leave some comments, let us know your thoughts. Shout out to all the people who are listening on podcasts, rate, review, 5 stars, all that other fun things. Normally, this is hidden behind a paywall. We had put it behind our Patreon, but I just felt like this would. I'm in a good mood. This is the night before I head out. I'm gonna miss the lit stream tomorrow. So really, I'm just kind of jealous of my friends get to have some fun tomorrow, and I'm I'm missing out. Like I'm making it sound like I'm like gonna be in jail or something. I'm gonna be on a plane heading to England. Like it's all fine, but I just wanted a chance to be able to hardy har har with some friends. Do some hood rat things with my friends, and we are here to welcome, like Daniel said, the tall strand,
Oh,
the
oh no.
shout out to a fellow tall one. Hey, spirits. GRS pod. Uh, Diaspora United. I mean, we could keep going. I'm sure by the time we're even done recording, he's going to participate in another pod. Who knows? Uh, we shout at Shady Gang. Give it up for Andre Carlisle.
Yeah, thank you. And I see people are in the chat having a good time, and I'm sad that they're lashing out because which is fine. Emotions are important, so I go through them, feel them. It's okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I did want to say though, I am also impressed by the proactiveness of you getting things together, so that when you come back or anything like that is real adult things. I don't think that way at all. I come back and I'm like, damn, somebody should have done something about all this.
Like,
That's
why
pretty much
didn't
how
I
it
think
goes.
about this? What? Damn, I should have done that laundry. Oh,
Right. The only thing I make sure I do is like dishes, because I don't want to like come back like you let dishes sit there for days. That's gross.
That's
So
fact.
I'll do that. Like I'll do the dishes. The rest of it, it'll be what it is when I get back.
Oh yeah, maybe if I was gone for a few days, but I feel like a week that's kind of too long to just have things sitting and waiting for me.
It's fair.
And then especially knowing with the like 14-hour flight back, where it's just like, all right, now I just know there's stuff waiting for me to do, and I just don't want that for myself.
No,
But
no, I respect it.
let's start off. Obviously, you are our Chelsea representative. And other than the fact that they have a million players that are all quality and amazing, what is something that you love about the club?
Oh, something that I love about the club. Well, recently I've been annoyed at the club, so that's one thing. But no, I think it's tough to go back. But I mean, I think the biggest thing is what Emma Hayes did with building the women's team. I
Mm.
think that was it had been, it was kind of Chelsea and Arsenal for a while, and then Emma Hayes kind of started getting very serious about it and really helped to elevate the club, but also the league. And I thought that was important. And so we can talk about like players and everything, because on the men's side, it was kind of like, I wasn't super tuned into like the Premier League back in the day, like back in the 90s or nothing. But I know Chelsea's story. And so like Drogba coming through, like that was my guy. Like and him helping Chelsea kind of break into that top tier of like fighting with Arsenal and Manchester United and Liverpool. That was cool to see, like a different team. And, I also like the color blue, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's superficial like that. I was like, all the vibes are in my favor right now. And so that's kind of what did it. And then on the women's side, like I mentioned, Emma Hayes and Fran Kirby. Fran Kirby's just an amazing person, I think, first of all. And then just she was an incredible player for the team for so long. And I love the fact that she grew with the team. You don't really get that often. Sometimes we saw a lot of players that were good enough for the level that Chelsea was at, but where Emma Hayes wanted to take them in 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, you have to keep building the squad. Fran Kirby was always able to elevate her level to be part of the next era and then the next era, and that is impressive to me. So, I'm very player led in my allegiances, and Chelsea got 2 of the ones that I like the most.
That's all fair. That's all fair. Well, and you gave a multi-tiered reason as to why you support the club. So I appreciate that. I like that. It's nothing really I can go at one direction, but also, and also I say
there's ownership things we could talk about, but I don't really,
but then we could just be throwing poo at each other, honestly. Like Sharpie says it all the time. Like, we're just the fans. Why are we caring about what the billionaires do?
There are no good billionaires. They're all bad.
Yep. That's it. And we're kind of stuck with what we got. And so, you can deny yourself the love of things and entertainment. As long as you're aware of both, I think it's cool. Like the people that try to and that's one thing that made me frustrated about Chelsea fans, is that there was a lot of allegiance shown to prior ownership, and I'm like, nah, y'all got to draw the line somewhere. We're not gonna be bootlicking like this kind of, that's not how it's gonna roll. So sometimes that gets annoying, but if you're aware of both, make sure you're vocal about both. Whatever, like who you like.
Yeah, he was an oligarch, but hey, he was willing to do whatever for his team.
Right. He was our oligarch, damn it. Right. That's all that matters. He was ours.
Our oligarch better than y'all's oligarch. How about that? It's like,
Exactly.
oh my God, really? That's how we're rolling with the sports
one state-owned
right
club to another,
Right.
Oh man. Well, I know a big conversation, and one of the reasons I see that you're frustrated with Chelsea this season is Sonia Bompastor. And it obviously, from outside looking in as a City fan, I mean, you're unbeaten this year. And I get you're not playing the best football, a lot of 1-0 wins after the 85th minute, and that can be frustrating. But you're still unbeaten, and things are going well, it seems. What I guess, can you tell us a little bit more about this Sonia Bompastor first season, and I guess what about it is particularly frustrating?
Yeah, it is tough because, you look at the performances and you complain, and you look at the record and everybody's like, y'all just being greedy Chelsea fans. I'm like, I understand. I get it. I understand. But you're undefeated till you're not. And this is the problem. They got a lot of big games coming up. Obviously, they play Manchester City about every 3 days for the next month. So that's going to be annoying. And so that's happening. Champions League is coming. They have a decent lead in the WSL in terms of the league, but that can falter too. You still have some really big games in the league coming up. So things look good right now, but if they keep playing the way they're playing, things won't go so great. So the biggest problem that I've had is just slow football. I think with the players that we have, if you move the ball quickly, if you have some urgency about you, they're a really hard team to cope. They will find the creases. They will find the ways to get the ball in spaces that the defense doesn't want. And then the team's very talented in attack. I want to see a faster pace. Bompastor wants more control of game, so she plays very slowly. She's really a little bit hesitant to let players really combine in ways and move out of position, because what if you lose the ball? Well, then you defend in transition, and that's where rest defense comes into play, and your counter press comes into play. That's how all that stuff happens. But slow football is just frustrating to me. I don't like watching it, particularly when you have players that would amount to a Ferrari, and you got them over here going 25 miles per hour in the speed limit. Stop that. And so that's the aspect of it. And then of course, when you play slow like that, and you can have a lot of possession and not have a lot of control of games, and that's something that we've seen recently. And I think you've kind of seen that with some of the results. Like Brighton was 2-2. They didn't have great control of that game, but if you look at the stats, they look like they dominated. That's, they beat Everton 2-1. Probably shouldn't have done that as well. That game was really frustrating to watch. So the results are there, but you look at the process and the way that, like, the performances, and I'm just annoyed. And this is why I was like, Sonia's basically here for the Champions League. You win the Champions League, fine. But apart from that, I'm not really here for the way she wants to play.
So Andre, so you sound like me. I always say on a pod, I'm like, goals are fun. And I think in football, if you have the offensive talent, go score the goals. Like a 3-1 can be just as exciting or feel good as a 2-0. So for you as a fan of Chelsea, what's your favorite like score line? Do you have to get a perfect, like, does it have to be a clean sheet? Or is it like, hey, we scored 4, they got 1, like when you all played Everton? Like, what's a great match for you?
Oh yeah, I don't care. You can score a garbage time goal against us all the time. Like, I don't care. When we put all the subs in or whatever, like, okay, you got a free kick or something weird happened off of a corner or something. Okay, sure, that's fine. It's 4-1. We don't care. But the problem is that stuff still happens. And when you have like a 1-0 lead or a 2-0 lead, and now suddenly it's 2-1, and you're playing a team that has a whole lot of confidence they didn't have, and now you got to like scrap for the last 20 minutes or half hour. Like, this game is weird. Stuff happens in terms of the ball going across the line. It's not always the beautiful goals that are going to count on the scoreboard. So you just got to do what you got to do when you have the opportunities to do it. And I feel like that's what's not being taken. So yeah, I'm 4-1, sure. 5-1. I mean, Chelsea used to win games like 8-2. That was fun as hell.
Yeah.
I understand the quality of the league ain't that anymore, but they have players where they should be scoring more than like a goal against Crystal Palace.
That was very surprising. I kept looking at the score like, wait, is this really the same Chelsea that I'm scared of? Because now I'm
Yes,
like, what are we?
I know.
What are we doing over here, Chelsea?
Yeah.
Trying to lull me to sleep. I don't like it.
Yeah. And by the way, that lineup had Lauren James in it, Kat Macario in it, Aaron Cuthbert started in that game. Like, there was like this Maka Hamano, like that. It was not a rotated squad, a heavily rotated squad. Sandy Baltimore and Ashley Lawrence were out there. 1-0 against Crystal Palace. That's Sonia Bonpastor stuff to me, and I get frustrated watching that.
I guess I just don't get it. When you have, like, I get she wants a slower pace, hold on to the ball more. I mean, people argue that's kind of the problem with City, but the ball is moving slower because the men's players are choosing to not move the ball as quickly. And honestly, the women have kind of had problems, which I guess led to our struggles, was the ball wasn't moving forward fast enough. It sounds like Sonia wants that, where Pep is like, technically he wants them to move the ball quickly. Like, if you want to, just make sure if you do lose the ball, you do all that pressing and stuff. And I can't imagine having players like Myra and Lauren and all these players, like you said, who are Ferraris, who want to run, and there's someone on the sideline telling them, no, no, go back.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's, and all right, Sonia's French. Let's just get out of the way. Like, this is how she wants to play football. Okay, like this is what they kind of teach. This is how you do it. Like, Didier Deschamps was. Deschamps. Yeah, like Deschamps was annoying, but he got the result in tournaments because you just make yourself really hard to beat, and eventually you rely on your superstar talents to put the ball in the back of the net, and there you go, you won the game. Congratulations. But like, to me, not only is that not fun, I also think that a lot of other teams are too talented to rely on doing that consistently all the time. And like I said, like, yes, the results have been there for Chelsea, but I also think like they haven't been playing like this the entirety of the season. And so it's almost like so I'm going to tie it together. Japan just got a new coach, the national team, Niels Nielsen. It's got him. And I'm confused about that whole thing. And they won the She Believes Cup. And I'm like, fine, right? And everybody's like, oh, looks like they're picking up right on where they left off. To me, give it some months. Let's see what they look like in 6 months. Let's see what they look like at the end of the year, because it takes time for a manager to instill what they want to do, like what they're telling players to do on the training pitch, how they want them to react. A lot of times players are going off muscle memory of what worked before. And that's what I feel like was happening early with Chelsea is Emma Hayes had them playing a certain way. they knew those relationships. Now it feels like they're playing the way Sonia wants them to play, and I don't like what I'm seeing. So that's where I'm coming from with this. Like the undefeated looks good, but to me, how much is she really responsible for that? Like what's happening right now feels like way more her. Like the balance has shifted. It's way more her than Emma Hayes right now, and the performances are looking a little shaky.
So with the switch in manager, do you feel like opposing teams have played you differently? Because I know like when you are a team that's dominant, most teams sit back, they're scared to press because of your, your technical ability. Is it same old story, or are you seeing anything different this season?
Yeah, it feels the same. That's kind of the other annoying part is that I think Emma Hayes has said vocally that her biggest problem and getting results to win the league as many times as they did, as she did, was just like finding way to break down a low block. And the way that she said about that is you have to move the ball quickly. She would always say that we're not moving the ball quick enough. There was a video, I think it was during the COVID, so nobody was in the stands. You could hear her talking and directing the press, and it was all about moving the ball quickly, like move the ball quick, play it forward, go. Like she's trying to speed the team up because they want to like take a touch, turn or whatever, and she's like, no, go. Like you don't want to be reckless with it, but you have talent, you have teammates who are going to be where they need to be. You don't need to turn, look around, see them, point. You gonna kick the ball to you right now. Like you don't need to do all that. You can do it a lot quicker. And I think that's something that why Chelsea's been struggling is because they are going up against some low blocks. And if you do that and you don't move the ball quickly, the game just becomes dull and you struggle to create chances. And you have to hope that Lauren James does the Lauren James thing. Thankfully, she's Lauren James.
Thankfully.
So she's been doing lots of Lauren James things, but it could be easier.
Yeah. I mean, we can move over to City's situation, and I mean, we talked it through. Sharpie wonderfully named Cushing, spin the block dude. That's who we now refer to him as, because we are going back to the old work, the little black book. And I don't feel great about that. I technically feel I'm okay with us getting rid of Gareth, but right before this, admittedly, red flags, light red flags. It's troublesome. And as somebody on the other side, how do you feel about the situation? Honestly, that's kind of the best way to it.
I've been a Garrett Taylor slanderer since like day one. So like I feel some slight vindication. I think it took too long, but I feel some slight vindication. Only because what really did it for me? Not knowing how to use Rose Lavelle. There were so many arguments I got online, like from especially fans in Europe, fans in England, calling me a Yank, telling me I don't know football or anything. Like, all right, man, whatever. But like, I know what Rose Lavelle is very good at, and I know what the team looks like they could really benefit from. And I know that playing her on the wing ain't exactly it. So, or leaving her on the bench is really silly. So like, I didn't like him there. He also said some weird things about, Bunny Shaw learning from Ellen White. That's hilarious. So there were just some things that he said when he got the job. And I feel like if you come in with a level of humility, because he should know that like that squad, that's not something that you should be like stepping into. You should probably build up to a team with that squad and those expectations. So go in with some humility and be open to, changing your football, learning new ideas, tailoring things to the players. And I feel like obviously a manager needs to have conviction in what they do, but I also feel like you're new at this, my guy. Like you can't come in and telling people exactly the way they need to do things, because I don't know if like you haven't really built that track record in terms of what you should be doing. And then of course the football just hasn't looked great for that squad. There ain't no way Chelsea should have the lead they have at the top of the league. Like I got beef with every single, like this was the year of all years to make sure that Chelsea doesn't lift that trophy again. And maybe it happens, but right now the table looks ridiculous. It should not look like this when Chelsea went through all the transition they went through, have a new coach, and you've got consistency with Manchester City and a squad that got better. You brought in Carlisle, like you got better. And what are they? Are they still fourth on the table right now?
Yeah.
Like, no, sir. Like, it can't be that.
Yeah, it's rough. I didn't expect this to be, because all the players were talking about, hey, this is a year where we've lived trophies, and the players I don't think have been saying that ever. So I was like, hey, if the players are talking this way, it sounds great. I even was like, hey, I kind of believe in Gareth. You know what? I like what he's doing. I like the fact that the players sound confident, and I don't know, you just kind of could see Garrett's confidence in like the pre-match pressers kind of wasn't there like it used to be. There were moments where he would even kind of get back at the journalists when they would ask questions, and that kind of put up a flag. And yes, the injuries, that's a big problem, but you would just think that he would be able to manage out of the situation. And I mean, obviously it makes sense. People are saying the whole Chloe Kelly situation and things like that, that could have been the final straw. Sharpie, what are your thoughts on, I guess, the season so far?
I feel like ignoring injuries is ignoring context. And so by my day job, I'm a history teacher, right? So one of the things we always talk about with my kids is like, you have to look at the context of what you're reading. Like what was going on? What's the background? And I feel like the injury situation, it hit at the worst time for City. You lost Lauren Hemp and Alex Greenwood almost simultaneously, right? So you're losing your captain in the back end. You're losing your like Lauren Hemp was playing the season of her life this year. And so I believe City got when the transition was happening. And how do we fill in these roles? Right. We needed a window to bring in Kanak, try to get her settled in. She has some issues up front. Her and Alexandria don't work together the same way Greenwood and Alexandria did. You have, okay, Mary's moving here. Alba has something. Gareth clearly has chosen her over Chloe. That's taking time to develop. I think that was actually a great decision because Alba's been fucking balling. But managers make decisions and you get the flat when it's bad and you get the credit when it's good, right? But I will say this. I look back at this just to make sure. I'm like, my recent memory is that City has played Chelsea pretty tough under Gareth Taylor, right? Like you've had recently a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Before that, there was a 1-0 win for Chelsea, 1-0 win for City, a draw, a 2-0 win for City, a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Like we have gone neck and neck with y'all, but I think the biggest difference is that against other sides, we haven't shown up the same way. And on the pod, I'm the guy that's the only one that's pro Gareth. And that's why I call this new man who I don't know. He's old for me. Spin the block dude. Because I'm like, hey, you brought in somebody right before you play the best team in the country 4 straight times in 12 days. That does not feel like an advantageous position to be in if I'm a player. And even players said Greenwood was shocked. Miedema, I'm looking at myself like, what could I have done differently? I don't know. So sadly, and this is where you, Andre, have way more time in WOSO and women than I do. And so on the outside looking in, this may be controversial. Sometimes it feels like from a supporter side compared to the men's game, there's a lot more about, and it has to be, I guess, but there's a lot more about relationships and kind of like those soft skills between manager and players versus like on the men's side, it's kind of like if you win, we're happy. And I feel like with Gareth, there are things that happen. And the midfield exodus Tom talks about was real. The issues with Roosevelt, the issues with Chloe Kelly are valid. And if the product is there and we're playing good football, as a fan, I'm like, that's all I want. It's not like his style of play was boring or we never attacked. I'm like, we had some injuries and then we lost some games. So I feel like when you look at this team now and you going up against us on Saturday, do you feel more confident knowing that, hey, they got a brand new guy in this week and we should be able to get this win?
That's the funny part. I'm wondering, like, and this is why I guess I have the question for y'all. Like, does a new manager bounce happen if it's not really a new manager? Like, I don't know if it applies. I think we're gonna find out. This is gonna be a really good case study, but I don't know if that's the way I'd look at it. And I mean, I think Arsenal players look like they were really fed up with Jonas Eidevall, and so him leaving felt like that was a vibe shift. I don't know how they feel, honestly, about Gareth Taylor. I think he was liked in some ways and not. The thing I really look at him and I wonder, like you said, like the team has been good. They've been one of the best teams in all of Europe, really, but definitely in England for a few years now. But my question is, like, is that player-led or is that coach-led? Feels player-led to me. It almost feels like Bunny Shaw bails him out of a few games. like she does something ridiculous and is like, okay, obviously that's a little bit reductive, but still, yeah, Bunny Shaw, what are you gonna do with her, right? I think it's pretty easy to see the kind of caliber of player that she has, and when you need something, you need a goal. It's great to have one of the top 2-3 strikers in the world. And that's impressive. So like, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from Cushing. I think it's probably a level of familiarity, especially for the players that have been there for a while. There is a unit that has been there for a bit, so I think that's probably okay. But in terms of what's going to change, it's going to be interesting. And yeah, new manager bounce without it really being a new manager. I'm interested to get that question answered.
Here's the interesting part though, because of when he left around 2020, right? Like, I don't think he's managed a lot of players in this squad.
Hmm.
I know obviously Greenwood was there,
Yeah.
Coombs was there, but I'm looking at that front three. I'm looking at our midfield. Yui was brought in by Gareth. Just Park got her run up. Gerard came in with Gareth. So it's kind of like you're taking over Gareth's team.
Yeah.
And again, this is where my naivety comes in. I'm like, I don't know his style of play. I don't know what he wants to do. Is he about to sit in a 5-4-1 and say, go hit him on the counter? We have no idea what this man's about to do against Chelsea. And I guess that element of surprise could be beneficial. Because Bonpastor, she can look at, film from 5 years ago, but again, that's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And clearly with City, when they move, they do these things very intentionally. I don't think this was a spur of the moment decision. It feels like something that was definitely in the works, and they just decided to say, hey, this is the time to do it. But Crunk, like I respect you and Tom so much because you watch more than I do, right? So I'm always leaning to you all for the expertise, and you see more of the nuance of the women's side. So do you believe that we have a chance with, new manager bounce, new tactics, just kind of weight lifted off of some of the players' shoulders?
I do think there is a chance. It's a combination of we don't know what Cushing's going to do because he was in the MLS managing the men's team, and the way that MLS is played, it's a little different than the WSL. So that we're all going to have to find this out together. For sure, I would like to believe the women are going to step up and do their thing. What I feel, I guess, that's a little harsh for Gareth is by the end of this month, it is kind of expected that we're going to see Lauren Hemp, and then Greenwood will be back. So it will be tough. I mean, will we see Oyama now? Like there are players that I feel like we're not seeing the best. I mean, I saw Jess Park being played as a winger this weekend because she had to, because Aoba has the foot problem. I completely forgot she was a winger. I found like an old meme that I made of her, and it was like, I'm just a winger named Jess Park. And I was like, I completely forgot she was a winger. And I think she did too. So it's all very interesting I am hopeful just because anything can happen. But I don't think that this new manager bounce could last long. And especially if we end up getting smacked by Chelsea in this first match, because that's what you need is the first manager bounce, and it could easily lose the locker room by the end of these 4 games, especially knowing because this can either we'll know we're out of the Champions League, either we won't lift one of the prospective trophies, one of the only trophies we could potentially lift this year, 2 of them actually, and really 3 because we could be mathematically officially out of the WSL. I know anything is possible, but I like Chelsea would have to fall apart. United, I know, but like it will be.
It's Chelsea's title, like it always is. We know this, okay? Don't give anybody out here who's a City fan false hope and delusions of grandeur. No, this is Chelsea's title. The question is, will they go invincible or not? That's all we're here for. The things that matter are League Cup final for a trophy, and then obviously to try to make it tough in that 2-legged tie. But Andre, I got to ask you, looking at your club, right? Who are your like standout performers this season on every level? Defender, midfielder, attacker.
Oh, I wish I could see who's watching because I might catch some heat for this, if I'm being honest. But as much as she kind of annoys me, Lucy Bronze has been really good this year. And I'm kind of surprised by that. I don't think she should have played as much as she's been. I would like to see Ashley Lawrence more, but I think that like Lucy Bronze has actually been quite good. And I think it's probably that familiarity with Sonia Bonpastor that's maybe helping. But yeah, that's been surprising. Midfield, midfield made it easy recently. We missed Aaron Cuthbert. Midfield looked like trash. You get Aaron Cuthbert back, looks better. Then I point my finger at her. She's had really good performances. That's kind of important. In attack, I mean, obviously Lauren James has been really good recently, like since coming back, and she's Lauren James and always going to be good. But I want to give kind of a shout out to Micah Amano. I think she's growing in a role, and I was honestly think in her last game against City, she was able to neutralize Yui Hasegawa a bit because Micah Amano is a pest. She never stops running, she never stops pressing, she's always around, and I think that's how they ended up disrupting City last time. City will probably be prepared for that. I don't know if that's going to be the same game plan, but it works so well. She'll probably have to try it at least to see if it can be similar as effective. But Hamano is just when you need to increase the intensity of a game, which we've seen a number of times. Like I said, slow football need to grind out results. You put Hamano in, and things all of a sudden get really turned up in the intensity level. So I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing from her.
That's fair.
Can I ask a quick question? What's Lauren James's best position for you? Like, she does everything, right? We know she's so talented, but where's her, like, this is the spot where she should be? Is it 10? Is it winger?
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out, Sandy Baltimore. I don't love her left back, but actually she's been really good. I almost do like this. This is kind of a problem that I have with sometimes figuring out what like Lauren James' best position or Katarina Macario's best position. I'm like, their best position is just on the pitch. Like, that's it. I just need you on the pitch doing Lauren James things. My concern with Lauren James is when she plays the 10, she drops too deep. And then you may get like that one kind of like Hollywood ball that breaks like multiple lines and it's good. But if she's doing that too deep, you do need a bit of ball progression. So it's not completely useless, but other players can do that. Where you really want Lauren James is when she beats a player, now you're in a much more dangerous position as opposed to just being in midfield and able to play like a 5-10 yard pass. That's not really what we need. Other players can do that. So I would really say anywhere in the attack. I kind of like her on the right. On the left, because I like when she cuts inside and shoots, but she can kind of do it with either foot. So it kind of doesn't matter where on either wing. But especially with Kat back, because I kind of like Kat as a 10 or as a 9, because then I think Kat will kind of fit in wherever, and Lauren James can go centrally as well. And so you don't lose a ton centrally if you don't have Myra or you want to play a little bit of a different style. So yeah, for me, Lauren James, winger, I kind of like either side.
Yeah, and it's and I've just been thinking about ours because our defense is that's our biggest question mark for these 4 games because Kanaka's out, she's still out. I don't think she'll be available for any of these games. If so, it'll be like the last one. And Alexandria kind of needs that physical support for when she inevitably makes a bad choice, whether it's trying to take on 2-3 defenders instead of passing the ball or wants to like there was a video of the last time City and Chelsea played and Laya is trying to like back down Myra Ramirez and Myra just throws her to the ground and it's bad. And you just see Leia on the ground almost like ref. But she literally just grabs her and throws her. And I was like, oh my God. But also, like, if you try to play these games with someone like that, and especially it's English football, you're going to lose that every single time. They're going to have to figure out a way to stop someone like Myra, stop someone like Lauren James that doesn't include trying to play that physical game with them because we don't have that. Gracie Pryor is still way too new. Naomi Lazelle still too new. They're very talented players, but their quality is, well, Lazelle, she's pretty good at pinging the ball around, but they're both just like height, physical, getting their experience in. I just worry about that. Wahhabi's been great, but because we've just had so much problems in our back line, Wahhabi has just quietly been fantastic. And Kasparai is just Kasparai, like a fucking legend. So I feel like she's kind of the most important in our back line.
With question for you, Andre. I was looking at the last match against Crystal Palace. Is Guru Wright injured or is she fit?
That's a good question. I think we'll find out soon. She's been
Okay,
injured,
okay.
and so she hasn't been around for a little while, and that's kind of also been a bit of a problem. I think she's such a unique player still that I really like to see her on the pitch, especially in games like these. So yeah, that's going to be a big question mark, and I'm not going to really complain a ton about injuries, but I do think like we got Naomi Girma, that was great. She plays a game, she gets injured
Boom.
or re-aggravates something, and she's out, and so you don't really have that. And Guro's been out, Aaron Cuthbert's been out. So there have been reasons why the team hasn't been like at its peak. But for when you have a team this big, this talented, this deep, I'm still kind of like, result should be better against Crystal Palace.
Figure it out.
That's,
Yeah.
that's where my bar is.
Yeah. Shout out to Neo in the chat for bringing her up. And I was like, wow, like she is a baller. And
Yeah.
she's one of those people, her baby face, she's one of those rare like white people where like it hasn't cracked. Cause I forget that she's like so much older than she is. Like she looks like she's still like 25. She's not. She's a wily old vet out there. Like Lucy Bronze, you kind of see that stealing through. She pushes through. It's like, yeah, you a millennial. You a real millennial. But then Guru, I'll be like, how old are you again, girl? Oh, you saw the 90s. But yeah, I think Neo Kanak is. I saw a picture of her in training. They were like she's on the way back, but I don't know if it's again if you can throw her right back out against Chelsea.
Yeah, especially with the
But
hamstring.
yeah.
It's a hamstring
Yeah.
injury too. So like you really have to be careful with that because it can get worse. And if it does get worse, then she's just going to be out for the rest of the season. And we can't be losing a center back that we just brought. And just that whole thing is frustrating too because she gets her first start for her national team, which you always want. But we know we have all of these games to play. We have all this to do. And Pep this year, what his big fight was, hey, if you go and play national football, you better not bring your ass back injured. And so, like, same city, same passion. Like, we now need to be telling that to our women's team. And it's just unfortunate because the national players we have, they are key to their national teams. Like, Joe Roard played every minute possible. Who else played every minute possible? There was somebody, Mary Fowler played every minute possible. Oddly enough,
Yui. Didn't you get a rest? Oh,
Yui and Fujino got one match off. They got the middle match off because they beat everybody down though. So I feel like if the games were closer, they probably would have played every match. Oh man. And then midfield, the easiest answer is Yui, but I really feel like it's technically Joe Roard. It's Miedema. Those are going to be the most important because Joe Roard still has struggled to find out who she is on this squad. And because we have too many other people who call for the ball, like Mary Fowler, Fujina, Bunny. I mean, like Miedema. Like, honestly, every single time she gets the ball, she's holding on to the ball. She's just that wily old vet who kind of needs to do her little feints and all that other stuff. And Roard just has kind of struggled at what to do. So if Roard can step up and learn where she fits in this club, that might unlock something new for her. Because I guess she's just always been, if she calls for the ball, it's at her foot. But this is now a situation where they very much aren't, I don't want to say they're not as interested, but she's had to help more defensively and holding the ball up, and that's not really her jam. So I'm hoping at least Cushing, all he really needs to do is just get the players to kind of like buy in and understand why they need to do certain things. Where I'm not going to say Gareth wasn't doing that, but it didn't seem that he was able to communicate with the players to understand the importance of those things. Because even like Laura Blankinda Brown, when she's been coming on recently, she hasn't helped the midfield at all. She's just been like running up, and she's been like higher than Bunny Shaw on the pitch. She's been higher than Mary Fowler on the pitch. And it's like, you're a midfielder, and also you're like 18, 19. Like, you should be kind of passing to them. You should just be wanting to fit in. Neo, what about Laura Weinrother? She looks okay when she comes in. Gareth didn't sound entirely sold on her. I know she's returning from a pretty intense injury. I'm hopeful for her. We need the bodies, and if she can come in, we might be able to push Wahhabi inside. I know she doesn't like playing a center back, but at least she's got the height. She's got a little more physicality than Alexandri. So yeah.
You know what's funny is that we haven't even gotten to starting 11 and predictions, but the more we talk about players, right, you start saying these names.
Mhm.
Listen to everybody that Andre said, and listen to every player that we said. And it's almost like player for player, it's very simple. It's like we pick a basketball team in school, right? First pick, second pick, go back and forth. I'm taking like 9 out of Chelsea's 11 before I take City's. And it's really hard sometimes to overcome a talent gap unless you're a manager. You know, the ball brethren can get out here and just make magic, because I don't know realistically what City can do with this squad that's not fully fit to beat Chelsea. Like, you got to, I think somebody said in the chat, a smash and grab with Daniel would literally be amazing, because I don't see going toe for toe. Like, if we try to do like a PSG Liverpool type match and we're just pressing back and forth, we're getting cooked. Like, it would be a 4-1 drubbing if we try to go toe for toe. So, Andre, like, when you look ahead to what you predict, knowing how City is wounded and you know, not at our best, what do you think the flow of the match will be this Saturday, this first match?
It's going to be slow and tedious. I honestly think, like, if Nick Cushing wants to, like, put a lot of pressure on, you know, kind of surprise Chelsea, come out, like, ingratiate himself to the players that are there and kind of give them some self-belief and confidence, you'll press high and press hard early. Just go at them for the first 20 minutes. Just have the game plan. Like, hey, first 20 minutes, just run at them, put them under a lot of pressure, try to win the ball high, try to get a goal. If you get a goal, try to get a second one. Like, go hard at them and see, because Chelsea's going to want to control the game. They're going to want to slow things down. I want to keep it kind of compact. They have a lot of ability to kind of, like, what Bon Pastor is going to do is just exactly what she's been trying to do: win the games the way she's been trying to do to win them. So he's going to want to pack things down a little bit, keep control of the game, make sure that when they get the goal, you don't get too high, you don't get too low. If they end up scoring, you know, kind of same thing. So I think you really just go at Chelsea and you try to disrupt them. If I haven't seen Chelsea play all that great, you know, when they don't have the ball, there are gaps that pop up, and I think that's another problem that I have with Sonia. I think there's a way where you can move the ball quickly, and with rest defense, a good rest defense, you can kind of stop transitions before they get dangerous. We're seeing teams be able to hit Chelsea in ways that, like, you would only see, like, this kind of happen with, like, Brighton or Reading, like, once a year. Like, every now and then you'd be like, okay, there's the Emma Hayes game, like, there's the Chelsea game. We're gonna have a really bad result against a team who's been, like, bottom half of the table. We're seeing that a couple times now, and I think it's because the team is a little bit too soft in transition defense, and that concerns me. So yeah, I'd put Chelsea under a ton of pressure. Don't let them dictate the pace. If they dictate the pace, then it's kind of a battle between, like y'all said, all of Chelsea's players, and maybe Bunny Shaw can bail people out. You know, maybe Fujito can do it. Maybe Miedema can do it. Like, there are talented players, so you can still win one of those, but the balance, like the favorability tips in Chelsea's favor a little bit.
Great question. Okay, well, let's get to the starting 11 and who are you expecting? Obviously it can change, but this is who would you like to see as a starting 11, and then Sharpie, you and I will do a combined starting 11.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the tough thing is we haven't even seen Kara Walsh for a couple games, so I don't know if she picked up an injury. So that's been interesting too.
Holy shit! What?
Yeah, we have her
my
too.
God, I forgot she was there. Oh my
Yeah. When she plays, she's good. Even though Sonia took her out of the game, and when I didn't think she was the one who midfielder should have came out the game. So yeah, I'm confused. But I'm gonna do kind of like a half what I expect, half like what I think I kind of want. So, like, if in my world, Ashley Lawrence would have the minutes that Lucy Bronze is getting, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I expect to see Lucy Bronze. I think you'll see Millie Bright and Natalie Bjorn, who's fun fact. Natalie Bjorn's first name is Gun, or Goon, as they would probably say it, but it's hilarious. It's just Gun. It makes me laugh every time. And then Sandy Baltimore. I think that'll be the back line. Newskin and probably Aaron Cuthbert. If Walsh is healthy, I would love to see Walsh and Cuthbert, but I don't know her status. I was just scrolling online to see if I saw an injury update, and wouldn't you know, women's team doesn't have that many that don't really get that kind of information. So, or I just missed it. So yeah, it's annoying. Then I want Lauren James. I want probably Micah Hamano, because I want I want her to try and do to Yui what she did last time, disrupt her. I think if that doesn't work, cool. Put somebody else in, like slide Katarina Macario, who I kind of want as the 9, have her there. And then this is where it gets tough. The other wing spot is where it gets tough because Aggie Beaver Jones has like really, I think she's taken a bit of a step back, or maybe not a step back. She's just kind of plateaued in her development. And that's a little frustrating to see. Same thing with JRK, Retin Conarid. I think she has too. She's the only one that has a ton of speed though. So maybe I go with her just to make sure you can still stretch a back line. So yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah. And ours, again, with all the injuries, we're kind of forced in the situation. I'm very worried about Fujino because of the load on her foot, just from the usage and continuous play. But I've heard that, she was rolling around in a wheelchair before the World Cup, but then she played the entire thing. It's one of those situations that as a player, can she put up with the pain? And she's been cooking lately. And
yeah,
I feel like we need her on the pitch, but is a 70%, 80% Fujino effective enough to help the squad out that much? But after seeing Jess Park at right wing, where she really has not been able to play much because it's been using Rorna Miedema in the midfield. I mean, she was all right. I mean, she gets the space to be able to attack, but she likes cutting in, and that's kind of the problem. Where Fujino, she likes to stay out wide, banging those balls in for Bunny to be able to get her thing. And even Carolyn, as much as I like her and I see her quality, she's been mad wasteful. And against a team like Chelsea, like if she loses the ball 2 or 3 times in a row, like she's done these last few matches, that could just like tank confidence. And I think Chelsea might be able to score off of one of those. I think Carolyn has been great, but she's been used on the left and the right to kind of mixed, sometimes she's good, sometimes she's not great. And I don't know if that's just her getting used to the league. Maybe like, I guess I'm not, because she got injured and I wasn't that most locked into her. Like, was speed or part of her game? Because it just seems like she's not used to other players being as like fast as she is, because she tries to do like a dribble and hit the ball away and try to catch up with it. But there are a lot of people who are like angling her out or pushing her out of the way. And that's where she seems to be struggling.
Yeah, I when it comes to Caroline, I kind of feel this way about a lot of NWSL, the Europe attackers. You just got to give them a while to get the NWSL off. Like they just got to shed it a little bit. In the NWSL, you get a lot of possessions. If you lose the ball, cool, you're getting it right back. Right? It's a much faster paced game, so you don't stress a lot when you lose it. In fact, and this is why I love the NWSL. You want your players taking a ton of risk. If you look at like the turnover rate for like Trinity Rodman and Sophia Smith, it's high. Doesn't matter. Like they put numbers up in terms of goal production, and that's exactly what you want. So I think she just has to shed that a little bit, be a little bit more, a little limited, take higher percentage risks, and then I think she'll be fine. And which she can do. She's also coming back from an ACL, so I think it'll take her a minute. But yeah, I mean, beating players 1v1 off the dribble, finding spaces, certainly shooting. She gets anywhere inside the box. She's really, really good at converting those into goals. So yeah, I think she'll be fine. She just got shed that NWSL mentality a little bit.
That's fair.
Sure. Yeah. So thinking about the 11 and Crunk, Phil, let me know if you disagree. I feel like obviously Bunny's up top, duh. And then behind her, if you do a 4-2-3-1, I'm putting Minima at the 10 right behind her. And then I'm putting Fowler on the right and Caroline on the left. And I say this because I feel like Caroline is so much more dangerous as a shooter, whereas Fowler is a great distributor, right? So her being on her right foot on the right, she can play that Alba Fujino role. Like, I'm going to try to get by. Now, Sandy Baltimore, extremely fast, extremely quick. That would be a tough one. But if I had to go at one person, obviously, I think Caroline versus Braun, I'm going to take my chances. And obviously, you can rotate wingers, right? I think Bronze would be the one you try to push back more and try to go her 1v1. How do you feel about that front four, Crump?
No, that's class. I like that.
Now, the question is, do you put, well, I guess if we say Miedema, that means Park has to come off the bench. So that means your other two midfielders are going to be Ward and Yui, right? Like they sit deeper, they help, they're more press resistant. And then the back line, I mean, you got to go with who you got, right? You got Kasparai, you got Alexandri on the right side, on the left side. Well, I guess it would depend on where you put Pryor. If she's going to start, she started the last match against Aston Villa, and then Wahhabi out on left back. And obviously, Yamashita and goal. I don't think he's going to just throw Kiara Keating back out.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna put Keating out. I like part of me, but also it's just like, I don't know. You don't know. I technically think Lazelle's ahead of Pryor.
Okay.
But I know she's just coming back from an injury, and I think that's why she was rested a little bit before this game this week. So I do think it's going to be Lazelle and Alexandri, but
like that.
It could be honestly either of them. I would like to one day just Greenwood would be back, Kanak would be back, but Pryor and Lazelle, that's kind of the future. Obviously, I would like bigger names, but like once they get some experience, they're both very young players. So that's a very 2, 3, 4 years type of vibes. I just want Greenwood back because she's just the calm and stability. She very much like Rodri. We have truly realized how much she has brought to the team, the calm that she brought to the team by her being out. She is addition. Well, it's not addition by subtraction because we're not, but her being subtracted, that we're learning how important she is to the squad. So that's what's really been tough. But
I'm worried about Wahhabi, man. I'm worried about Wahhabi. I feel like 1v1 against those wingers. Because I think her and Bronze have similar profiles, right? Where like obviously they're more attacking fullbacks. Like they want to get up and get involved. But I think that, like, for example, Lucy Bronze is a better defender than Layla Wahhabi. And just a little bit better of an athlete. So like if you get the right 1v1, it can get ugly, man. It can get ugly real fast. And I don't know if whoever's the center back can read the game like Greenwood to know like, oh, I got to support her. Because obviously you might have Maya Ramirez right there, the center as a forward, or whoever in the middle that's keeping you occupied. Like, how do you make that decision on when to go and when to stay? So I feel like the lack of connectedness or continuity on the back line is gonna be exposed. And it's not anybody's fault. It's just injuries. Like without Greenwood, it really messes up a lot. So yeah, it's a daunting task, man. It's a daunting, and it's not the end all be all because we get four cracks at this, right? So Cushing could be using this like, hey, let's take a free hit because this doesn't matter as much as UWCL. It doesn't matter as much as trying to get to third in the league and make sure we qualify. So this could be that free hit to say, let's just go after it, and then we take it, and then 3 days later we figure out again.
And I know that the link doesn't work. Just copy and paste. We're doing a a shirt giveaway. It doesn't matter what club you support. You just have to sign up for the raffle, register to FanFest. Super easy, chill. They're giving away things all the time. I want to show some love and push that. So that also will be in the episode descriptions for the podcast people. We do watch alongs on there, host a couple of other shows on there. They have a nice little thread chat that they're trying to grow on there. It's YouTube, Discord, smash it together, but about football. They're really cool people trying to build content with other teams and things like that. So if you guys have anybody watching and it's like, I would like to do some content, but the idea YouTube overwhelms me and you want to do something more couture, check out FanFest, reach out, DM us. FanFest, they're also on Twitter and Instagram. Just you can DM them yourself. Just let them know SOB sent you. But this, I wanted to get to Neo's question. Who do you think is coming off the bench? And I mean, Spark, that's what we call Jess Park. Spark. So like she's definitely going to be one of them if she doesn't start. But after that, it's kind of scary because everybody else I feel like is supplemental. It would be to if you bring in Coombs, that will be to help Miedema or Roard be able to focus more on the attack and not having to track back as so much, or maybe Yui can now step up and take some shots at goal or try to facilitate something positive like she did with Fujino in the She Believes Cup.
This is where you get all positive, Crunk. I'm gonna just call it out. We have no game changers on the bench. It's just real, bro. Like, look at this bench. The last bench we put out, if we start Caroline right, now you're left with defender and Lazelle, Ringwalter, Oyama, who's a deep line midfielder, Murphy, who's a young attacker, Lakinde Brown, who's young. Nobody up there is scaring Chelsea, bro. Like, it's just with the injuries, you lose that depth. And so you don't have 3 people to come off the bench like Chelsea do that can say, you know what? Let's turn this thing around. Let's get more expansive. Let's whatever. Yeah, sorry. The bench ain't doing much.
No, that's fair. And I mean, and that's what Daniel said. Park and Murphy. LOL.
LOL. Exactly. Ha, 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 ha. This needs to be a bunny masterclass. I need a Caroline Galazzo. I need all the Australian ancestors to go through Mary Fowler's right foot. Like, we need all the prayers to beat this team, bro. Like, it's such a daunting task.
Jess Park always scares me anytime she's on the pitch. So like, she's got a level of intense. Like, to me, there are certain players where I'm like, even though they haven't played in the NWSL yet, I feel like they got NWSL energy. She got NWSL energy. Like, I feel like she'd be right at home in this league. So like, she kind of scares me when she comes on because the mood of the games change, whether she starts or whether she comes off the bench. So I think that's important. But I mean, this is why I said go at Chelsea early. Like, go at them quick, because I do think you can get a lead on this team. The way they've been playing, I'm worried about, like, obviously Chelsea hasn't lost, right? So I'm not trying to be like doom and gloom about everything, but I really think these 4 games could be split 2-2 really easy, or 3-1 either way. I really don't think there's a lot between them, especially given Chelsea's performances. They get healthy, they start performing a little better, moving the ball faster. Yeah, Chelsea's a better team right now. But we'll see if that happens. I don't expect it game 1. We'll see if that happens by game 2 or 3.
Yeah. I like Daniel's comment. Smash and grab for this foot-long cold cut combo with cookies. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah. Kronk, I can't hear you, my boy. Ooh, look who's
the 12. That's what I'm saying. The 12 is coming through.
Everybody coming.
Oh my god. Oh, these are the subs. These are the subs.
There it is.
This is our 3 off the
bench is
right
deep
here.
all of a sudden.
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
You know, like when you throw in a party and then the whole crew just shows up out of nowhere.
Right?
The whole crew just
That man got a blazer on.
Going
Oh
on
my
right
gosh.
Now. Sorry, but who's gonna be Usher though? Who's gonna be the one like looking around and like has got the whole wrong everything?
Yeah, this is a game.
This is like Avengers.
It really was. It was like, on your left, Cap. On your left. Right. They're all here.
So how is he getting familiar with the Chelsea and City Love Fest that's going to be happening for the next month?
I mean, you can call it a love fest over there in Arsenal land, but I don't think that's it.
I'm calling it 4 opportunities for the best meteor to hit Earth is what I'm calling it.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of hate. It's a lot of hate.
Tell us how you really feel, Trip. I'm worried.
I mean, I can tell you how I really feel, but that
would be the content we need, bro. We're trying to go viral.
Mark, Andre is like, this is where I am at. I don't necessarily care about whatever the results are. I'm more focused on like there needs to be a scrap in one of these 4 matches.
Oh my God.
Which 2 players are the most likely to scrap though?
Mary Fowler.
Really? I feel like Lauren James she kind of got a little bit of a history sometimes when she gets frustrated. So you know, just gonna throw her out there.
And Kirsten Casper.
Yeah. Yes. Oh God.
Okay. I want to see Lauren James and Carolyn go at it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like they're 2 attackers, so I don't know how often they'll see each other, but like just those 2 energies, like I want to see that.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I love Lauren James, but I don't think she got that Coma Bowl energy, right? I don't think like that Coma Bowl energy, that CONCACAF energy is different. So I don't know if she want to see that.
Okay, so
Didn't
then
she
they
go off on
correct
somebody
answer.
though? Like she tried to like she had some type of I don't say dirty foul, but just like a foul you wouldn't want. She got a little frustrated, a little frustration foul.
I
She
don't know
had
what you're
that type of
talking
ability. Oh, okay, didn't happen. I thought I remembered it. It's been
I
a
I
didn't
while,
mean,
see
I mean,
nothing.
I watched the World Cup and I saw that foul that she had on Michelle Alozier. So
I didn't see
Okay,
nothing.
just making sure. I ththought so. Okay. Oh, Myra
I saw it
Ramirez.
because
Yeah,
I
if you
mean
want
I've seen
vulnerable
her
energy,
bang.
Myra and
Yeah.
Caroline.
Oh my God! See, yeah, that might be the fair,
that okay. Yeah, I like that.
yeah,
I like
the
that.
Some
same
old
weight
hate going
class
at each
type of
other.
energy. Yeah.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah, Aaron
the whites.
absolutely would scrap.
Ooh, the
No,
whites going at it. I like that. I like
you're
that.
right. Are we Scott? Nah, yeah, she would fight.
Yeah,
Like a terrier out
She
there.
just came back from injury though, so she might have to be a little bit careful. But yeah, she's got a lot of dog in her.
Take the first swing and then start stepping behind their teammates.
Yeah, you get behind Myra after you do that, and then
Right.
Myra and
All right.
Millie Bright just standing there like, what you gonna do?
Yeah,
One
okay.
step?
Millie's
That's
another
fair.
one where I'm just like, I
Yeah.
feel like Millie's quiet with it, but she's one of those that like she's
Yeah.
just such a presence. Like,
Mhm.
like, hey, she shows up. I think everybody gonna calm down. There's not gonna be a whole lot of squabble up when Millie gets around.
Yeah.
That's so interesting that you say that because I think that like City's biggest disadvantage in these run of fixtures against Chelsea is that they don't have anybody on their back line that does that. Like, that you're missing Greenwood so much. Like, it's not, and then like you don't have any center backs over the age of 20 that are not Spanish, and I think that we have all seen the movies on Spanish center backs.
They're basically
Damn.
midfielders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's legit.
I mean,
It's
he's not
true.
lying, but damn, that's
Yeah.
right. That hurt a little bit. I felt that in my chest.
I mean, if you got in
I know
possession,
it.
they're good, but you know
Yeah.
they gotta scrap.
Actually defending, not that fun, not that good at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
Mark,
terrible.
as the other Chelsea fan, how are you looking out of these upcoming 4 games? How many do you feel like legitimate, not just being Chelsea downed? What do you think that it's going to go? Chelsea 3-1? Because what Andre said, he could totally see it going 2-2 or 3-1 on either side.
Yeah, I would say if I had to like predict results, I'd probably say something like 2-1-1 in favor of Chelsea. I actually don't think there's going to be that much between these teams. You know, we just got done recording our latest episode of 12. Y'all should go check it out if you haven't already. But like the point I made, you know, that you go back and watch the FA Cup highlights of Man City's, right? That beautiful Mary Fowler pass to Bunny Shaw, like that's always scary. It doesn't matter the results, you know, the kind of season City has, even who's managing them. Like at the end of the day, they're gonna have Bunny Shaw, an informed Mary Fowler, a Vivian Miedema, maybe a Caroline. You know, like that's just scary. So I don't think there's much between these teams. I feel like Bomba might play possum with the final, right? Because obviously we want to win everything, right? Everybody wants to win everything, but we don't need the Footlong Cup necessarily, right? Like that's not as important as Champions League final. So like to me, I'm looking at Saturday's match as like I hope Gurma and Walsh can get some playing time. And then other than that, I kind of just don't want Bomba to give away too much, to be honest with you. Hell, even rest Myra. Let her get her ready for midweek. Like, why not?
That's so disrespectful.
Ain't
But I
it
get
though?
Damn, like yeah, rest of
Yikes.
He's not wrong. I mean, Sonia's here
He's
to win
not,
the
he's not.
Champions League. Like that's what she's here for. If she doesn't do that, like you can win the league, but we've been doing that. So like you're here to win the Champions League. That's the one thing Emma Hayes couldn't do.
So is it like? Go ahead, DD.
Well, to Mark and Andre again, how much do you think Mia Fishel is going to play coming back from injury?
Oh yeah, because I didn't even know she was on the bench for that one match.
Yeah,
I think it was the FA Cup.
Yeah, it was dope to see her on the bench. The question is like, was that just for numbers, or is she like really ready to come back? Like that's what I don't know. And we won't know until she steps on the pitch and however many minutes she gets. I'm glad to see her back, at least available to be on a match day squad, but it's way too early to tell where she's at and how many minutes she play. But yeah, I would love Sam Kerr to come back, but I think that's
Yeah, well, so and on that point, I find it super interesting. So is me official ahead of Sam Kerr right now, fitness wise? Like,
seems so.
Looks so.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
yeah. I mean,
Can
you know,
City score
Sam-
2
Sam-
goals? Does anyone believe City can score 2 goals in a
Like
match?
in a match or just combined? total?
Against Chelsea? Or
Of course, he
I
can.
mean,
And-
Chelsea are gonna have to score multiple as well. Like
I'm
it's
just
gonna
saying
be
it's
more
been
of
a
keeping
while
up.
since since City has scored 2 goals against Chelsea. It's been like over a year. So I just don't believe that with this new manager, new tactics, new approach.
And that's the one thing I wanted to bring up
Yeah.
because, like, I know with Andre and Mark, like, as Chelsea fans, I've heard this before where they're very much focused on the Champions League. And with City kind of parting way with Gareth Taylor, they said that they are more focused on the league now. Like, could we be seeing a situation where they're very much just like, all right, Chelsea, like, you can advance in the Champions League, not necessarily laying down for them, but laying down for them? Like, is that a reality that we could see where the rotated City squads that we see are actually the Champions League matches and the full City squads we see are the league matches? Like how is that going to look?
I will get myself kicked out if that happens. I will be booing from the match because I'm going to be at that match. So, and I'm in the
I'd
front
be fine
row.
with it.
Oh, I would
booing.
actually feel
I'm
so
gonna
bad
lose
for
my
you.
shit.
That's how it works out.
This is what I will say. I will say that because City has one box-to-box midfielder on their roster, Laura Blinkilde-Brown. When she starts, the match usually goes a little bit more smoothly for City. If the matches that she does start, those are the matches that the manager is taking seriously. The matches that she starts, that she's on the bench, those are probably the matches that they're like, we can pass on this one. So if we see her start Saturday in the League Cup and then see her start the following Sunday in the league, like City basically just like we're not serious about Champions League. We're not prioritizing advancing in Champions League.
See, I think that would be a big like I get why they were doing that. But like see, like I agree with Dan. Like I don't think the City should just give up on the Champions League. Like I don't think it's as, especially if you can find a way to get past Chelsea, because I think right now Chelsea and Barca are like the two strongest squads left. Well, I guess you could also say Lyon too, right? Like yeah. But like I just feel like the way the Champions League is set up right now, like it's very open, I would say, especially if you can get past Chelsea. Like as a team facing Chelsea in this tie, like if you can get past them, you very much have a legitimate chance. So I just don't agree with outright saying like we're not going to go as hard as we can in that matchup. Like I can see prioritizing the league because the top 4 teams in the standings right now are all fighting for those 3 spots, but
exactly. I was just gonna say, which is easier, actually, getting one of the 3 spots in the league for next season, or winning the Champions League this season to get a spot?
I feel like pushing for the Champions League this season.
If you make it to the Champions League final, it's 5 games.
Yeah.
Like so, and you have that in front of you, right? Like you don't have to depend on other results or anything like that. You can just go out and win those games. I mean, obiously that's much easier
said than done, but yeah,
right.
It's in your hands. It's in your hands.
But it's in your hands.
But it's in your hands. Yeah, you don't have to rely on other teams to lose.
Right, and Chelsea's beatable like that. We were just kind of talking about that. Like Chelsea and their performances right now, very beatable. But you don't get a chance to like all these games ain't gonna count against the league. Like right now, what's the gap? 12 points between Chelsea and Manchester City. Like right now, the gap between moving on to the next round is just beating Chelsea once and holding on for a draw or something.
Right,
like that's it.
That's
and
what
so,
I'm saying.
Like,
I just don't. I don't know. I think. It was right to move away from Gareth Taylor. I think it was wrong to then follow it up by saying, by the way, we're now focused on the league. Everything else doesn't really matter. I think you still want to give the appearance of like we're still fighting for everything, period. And we're going to fight till the wheels come off.
It is wild to just straight up say that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, and I get it, but also like you're not so far off of the league to where you need to only focus on that either, right? Like you're you're a point off of United, or you're a point off of us right now?
Point off Arsenal.
So like, you're not so far off of the pace with the league where it's like, okay, we need to like put all our resources into this competition. You can still go hard for the Subway Cup, and you can still go hard for the Champions League and give yourself the best chance in that first leg. Now, if Chelsea blow you out that first leg, then yeah, by all means, take it easy after that. But I feel you should at least try.
But that's like what Manchester United's last, like right now, to me, their second place is a bit of a false thing. Like right now,
I agree.
Their last 3 games are Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal.
I agree.
Those could be 3 L's. That's 9 points. So you may not be able to like win the league, but you can certainly get up to second.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Just so it's both. I've made this point on the 12 before. Both Chelsea and City have beaten Barcelona in the past year. I think that whoever emerges from this tie should have a measure of confidence going up against Barca, because I don't believe that this is the same Barca as before. I mean, they seem to be really excited about Vicky Lopez, right? Barcelona and Spain. Cool. She's 18 though. Like, she's playing major minutes right now, especially after Walsh left, right? I think Barcelona is absolutely gettable. So I don't know, like
gettable they've been in years.
Exactly. If I'm City, I'm high key looking at Champions League.
I find it hilarious that like we have just completely written Wolfsburg off. Like the most literally the most exciting championship race in all of Europe is happening in Frauen Bundesliga, and Wolfsburg is in that, and we just said nah, you ain't got it.
There's a reason why.
I mean, do we want to get in? Like, we all watch ball here, right? Like, we all watch ball.
Somebody let us know. What's the reason, Andre?
I mean, the Bundesliga is fun and all, but like Wolfsburg's been unserious for the past like couple years. All of a sudden, like their coach was gonna be like, "I'm gone." Like Tommy Struhe, he was like, "I'm gone. I'm done. Like I'm taking this team as far as I can go." Then suddenly he was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna stay." And they're like, "Great, we're great to have you stay." I just think that like before like a month or 2 ago, Wolfsburg was like 4th on the table in the Frauen Bundesliga, and it was really fun to see them there, but they're not quite that. They're going to lose talent. Yeah, I think Julia Brand is going to end up at Barcelona. So like they're going to steadily continue to lose talent. Like they don't have Oberdorf anymore. That's what really scared you. That's what really keeps you in games when it comes to the Champions League. I'm just not really scared of their squad. And having said that, they got a good record against Chelsea in the Champions League. So we end up matching up with them. We could definitely take an L, but I'm not really worried about Wolfsburg right now.
And I do want to give Garrett Taylor, he talked a lot about their thin squad, and he didn't necessarily call it a thin squad. He was just like, we are not built, because when Chelsea brought in the players that they did during the winter transfer window, he was asked, hey, what are your thoughts about what Chelsea is doing? Could you see something like that happening at City? And he was like, I hope so. Like, that's the only way we're really going to be able to keep up with them. Our worst squad is not currently built to play in multiple competitions at this moment. And he's not wrong, because we lose 2 players and we're in deep trouble. And yeah, it's tough. When Sharpie and I did the starting 11, that back line, I had a damn near anxiety attack just trying to figure that out. Like it stressed me out.
Food. We are food. Every defender is a flawed person out there. Everybody's the mark, Tom. And there's no defender. I'm like, yep, she's gonna lock her down. Please tell me I'm lying, Tom. Who you got safety in 1v1?
Honestly, like when you're
maybe Casper Rye, maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say your 2 best defenders on the back line are your fullbacks, and I mean,
I don't know.
Like I really like Naomi Lazelle. I love the way that she plays, but like she's more of a utility type of player, and so you saying like, okay, well, now you're gonna play fullback for 90 minutes against Myra Ramirez, me official. Like Aggie Beaver Jones, have fun. Like, I don't like those chances. I don't like those odds at all. And like, I think that if you look back at the first Chelsea match, that was the first match that like a team actually like got a run at Yui Hasegawa in the midfield, and like made her look like she was uncomfortable. And I don't know if there's a player on the roster that can help her relieve that pressure. And I don't want her playing 360 minutes over 14 days. Like, because you can't do it. That's like, I mean, malpractice. But like, who are they going to put back there? Like, surely you're not going to put Jill Roord as the 6th. Like,
meet him up.
No.
Just like, it's not defense.
Jill Roord the 6th for
It's
one of
not
these games.
defense.
I'm just trying to see something.
Hey, you're tall. Do you think?
Bill said, she was asked, hey, you think you could be back here? She was like, step too far, my boy. Maybe that's what got Garrett out. I don't know. I asked too many questions.
Okay. Well, appreciate you guys for joining us. I would like to hear your thoughts on this cold cup combo cup with cookies. How do you think this score will
Subway
go?
Eat Fresh Cold Cut Combo Cup for the foot-long trophy with cookies.
Wow. It just gets longer every single time. I can't keep up.
An
And I'm
important
not
point,
saying the
we were
word Subway.
We were talking on our podcast, like, just recently, we were saying that what they need to do is take a page from the Pop-Tart Bowl. And I was saying they need to get like a big actual foot long and throw it in the oven at the end, and then like have it come out toasted on the other side, right? So like that, they need to like really lean into the absurdity of this all.
Do one of those party subs. Like,
yeah,
just have it on the sideline.
Party sub. See, that's
go over
the entire length.
Oh my God. That's a party every time.
I feel like
so American.
Yeah,
you just got done playing a whole game. Go eat yourself a big ass sandwich.
Come on, Nikki, make it happen.
Lean in. You got to lean into the marketing. It's important.
Yeah, every sub is going to be some sort of. There's got to be some sort of Subway sub sponsors, something. Like,
I'm here for it.
like Angel City does, like the sweet onion chicken teriyaki corner kick.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Angel City is the best club at having a sponsor for anything that happens on that pitch.
They're trying to get up to $1 billion valuation, baby.
They have the Sprouts groceries of life throw in. They have the Klarna, corner kick. They have the Cedar Cyanide free kicks from the spot. They have the box outside the box.
Who is it with the assist? There's one for an assist too.
Yeah, I think Klarna. I think in reality, Klarna is the assist. Cedar Cyanide's the corner. Sprout is the throw in, and then there's I think DoorDash is the substitutions.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
That's the thing. I'm not joking. Like, these are real. Like, if you
they're legit.
This season when the NWSL starts, look at Angel City's social media feed. You will see the hashtag sponsors for everything.
I'm not gonna lie. At once I was trying to find a highlight of an assist, and I couldn't find it on Twitter. So I think I searched Klarna and like Angel City and Klarna, and I found it. And I was like, I can't stand y'all.
If there's one thing an LA team's gonna do, it's market. All right, like that. This is why I've said before. Like, do they want to be a soccer brand or they want to be a soccer club? But that's a whole conversation for a different.
They've answered that question.
Yeah. They have.
As for this cup, though, like, I think. Here's what I think. And this might be a little cynical of me. I think Nick Cushing is coming in saying, I just want one chance at one trophy to show to my brethren that I can still coach. And I think they're going to go absolutely apeshit hard in this Subway Cup. And then all the other matches they're not going to really care about that aren't league matches. Like, truly, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I don't agree with them punting Champions League, but I absolutely think that's what they're going to do. So I think if you're going to beat Chelsea, the match you're going to do it in is going to be this weekend in the final. You're going to get the cup that they absolutely don't care about. And then you probably will never sniff another goal against them again.
I'm going to go City lose this weekend 2-0. I think City draw in the league and lose both. So what's that? 1-2 overall. So yeah, that's what I got. A single point out of 4 matches.
Let's see. I'm gonna say City win the cup 2-1. I think they'll draw the first Champions League match. That's at City, right? Yeah.
Yep.
They'll draw the first Champions League match, and then I think they'll lose the next 2 matches. I think part of what will affect City is that lack of squad depth, and I think those last 2 matches in particular that'll become more pronounced.
Deep T, what do you got?
Meteor times 4. I'm gonna say I think pretty much what Mark said. I think City's gonna take this Subway Cup. I think Chelsea doesn't care as much about it, and whichever way it goes. First match at it's at the Etihad, or is it at Joe's?
It's at the Joy.
Joy for the Champions League, Etihad for the
Okay, if it's at the Joy, then draw or maybe City can eke out a win. But I think overall second leg Chelsea will win and move on. And then league match is that the last one? I think Chelsea will take that one.
Okay.
No, Tom, you
So
go.
I got a cup. I got a trophy. We'll take the trophy. Thank you. I have a loss in the first Champions League match. I have a draw in the league match because I think one of the biggest reasons why Gareth Taylor got fired is because you can't keep embarrassing me in front of company, and I can't take you to the big house and play Manchester United and give up a hat trick to Ella fucking Toon. I can't do that. So stop embarrassing me in front of company. You're embarrassing me in public. So I have a draw in the league match, and then I have a loss in the reverse fixture. So I have a win, 2 losses in the Champions League, and a draw in the league.
Before I go, I think this has been fully snuffed out. Like it's been on multiple.
We talked about it on our pod too. Yeah, that's not happening. Gareth Taylor is in no way, shape, form, spiritually, physically, transformatively, any way coming to Los Angeles at all. Zero chance at all.
I think all that sun would be
The
bad
jokes
for
were
him
fun
anyway.
while they lasted, but it's not happening. Yeah,
It wasn't
that
fun.
lets you know all you need to know about Gareth Taylor, because just the mere mention of his name caused such a stir here in Los Angeles. The club felt the need to, via its media people, let us all know that there is 0 chance of that happening. So it's not happening.
And the way the sky was about to crash out.
I know,
But
she's like, Bunny Shaw. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, but they are expected to hire a manager in June. So obviously, with that timetable, the common thinking is that it is likely a person from Europe. And that is as far as the confirmations go. Other than it is absolutely not Gareth Taylor.
Oh, which
is
brings
it
me
Gareth Gaylor?
Is it? Does he have a brother?
So we
so fun.
So
we had a really fun exercise on our pod. It was like you have to name one serious candidate and one for the lulz.
I want to hear this from Andre.
Who do you think replaces Gareth Taylor? So one serious, one for the lulz.
Oh, y'all don't want to start with me. I don't want y'all to be good, so I'm not gonna say anything good.
Exactly.
Freya Coombe. Yeah, so hire her. It'll be great.
That's so fun. Oh God,
That's
it's happening.
great.
Oh,
It's happening. It is over. Congratulations, Manchester City. We have now manifested your new manager, Freya Coombe. Congratulations.
This doesn't sound good.
Trev and I
three. That
Say-
is
she's
three.
like- Like Beetlejuice, say her name 3 times.
It's
There it
over
is.
now. It is
Sorry.
over now. I love it. I'm so happy. Because you know what they were saying, Andre? They were trying to say things like Seb Hines and Carl Moscato, and I'm just like,
y'all can't. Yeah, no.
No,
I can't say
no.
Seb. No.
Freya
Wait,
Coombe.
Hold on. Okay, we can say our lulz and the real one, but Andre, what's your real, like, an actual good shout?
He actually
Again,
does not want them to have a good time.
it's real hard for me to say a really good man. I mean, I want Bunny to have a good manager. I want Mary Fowler to have a good manager. Like, yeah, players I love. Like, Yui's incredible. I love the way she's been playing. Like, I like a lot of the players, but I don't like your team. I I want your team to be good. I don't want you winning trophies. I'm a Chelsea fan. So like I'm
That's
always
real.
gonna be like, you
That's real.
take
None of
whoever. Like I don't care. Like, but buy out Tommy Stroot, see what he can do. Like honestly, like I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly though, that actually might not be a bad idea because he does
not?
like to go quickly, and if that team plays fast, they have the ability to do it. So that'd be a little bit concerning. I don't know if you have the defense to handle that, but like probably not without Alex Greenwood. But I have to think about that one because I don't really have like a shed the bias and give like a legit answer. I'm gonna think about it.
That's real.
I
I haven't actually given any of my scores, so I just wanted to do that real
Oh
quick.
yeah.
Went very far left. I am doing it. I'm being a complete homer. Fuck all y'all.
Oh god, here we go.
Bunch of
Here we
haters. No, we're gonna lose one. We're gonna lose
Okay.
one.
3-1.
It's gonna be the league match. I think they're putting way too much pressure on the league match. And honestly, I
Okay,
can see
so
us drawing the. Hold on. Can you let me land?
Oh,
Go.
This is my show.
my man got the British lingo down already.
I think we draw. So we draw the first leg, but I just think all of the games, the cumulativeness of it all, that fourth game is just going to be so chaotic. That UCL match, that second leg is just going to be so chaotic where I think we might be able to either snatch an early goal and I'm going to hate every single minute after that, or we smash and grab. So I could see us winning the cup, moving on, but then we're out of the league statistically, which means we have to go all in on the Champions League. Hemp, Greenwood, all of them should be back, and I feel like we stand a good chance.
By the end of the month?
That's what Gareth was saying, that Hemp should be back first, and Greenwood is right behind her.
That's interesting.
I love your hope, Crump. I wish I had it.
So that's what I was gonna
So-
say. So like, I don't think a single person here has City winning that league match. So then I reiterate, why is the focus on the league?
I don't know.
When
I
you have
think
a
they
prime
just feel like they need to
opportunity
say that.
Again,
because like again, you
embarrassed
legitimately
me.
have a shot at Chelsea in the Champions League. Like I
You
understand.
embarrassed me in public. We drew at the Chigwell, and like I said on the last episode of the 12, that is the most damning loss of Gareth Taylor's Manchester City tenure. Did they lose? Did they get a point? Yes. But is it a loss? Absolutely, it's a loss. That is a loss. That is not a draw. That is a loss.
That's
And
embarrassing.
But I'm just saying,
That-
if the end point is City losing or drawing in the league to Chelsea at the end of all this, like why not then just say, fuck it, we ball. We're gonna go hard for the trophy, like to get a trophy, and then we're gonna go hard in the Champions League because you never know. Like you can hit Chelsea in the mouth in the first match the same way you did Barcelona this Champions League. Like no one gave y'all the chance in that one, and y'all came up, with a big win. So like, I just feel like it's a disservice to immediately come out and be like, we're, the league is our focus, especially when we're all sitting here feeling like at the end of this long stretch against Chelsea, you probably won't even win that league match to begin with.
Mhm.
For the record, City's only lost the season when Bunny hasn't started. Just want to put that out there. That there's hope when 21's on the pitch. So that's my hope, Crump. And Bunny, we trust.
Thank you. And buddy,
And
we
maybe
trust.
she comes through.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'd be really out here saying, 21, can you do something for me?
Exactly, damn it. Exactly. Do something for all of us, Bunny, please.
And she usually can. So
She does.
Okay, well, I figure we should get out of here. It's stupid late for Deep Tea, so shout out to you. And yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming on and joining us. Thank you, Andre. Shout out to the 12, the network show bros, Tom, Trev, Nichols. I always struggle with that, the homie, and Deep Tea. Oh, hey, and that's always a good thing, Daniel. No Emily Heaslip.
there you
Like
go.
there's already
no,
enough.
no. She'll be there on Saturday. She will be at Derby County on Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary individuals. She will be there.
It is going to be a fun month of hate watching. I will say that, just as a non-supporter of either side, like it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I just want
I am a
complete
little
insanity and
disappointed.
chaos.
I want to laugh at Arsenal fans, but I know this is going to be like this is great. I love whenever like Arsenal and City play a lot. It makes me laugh. I'm just like this is delightful entertainment. So I'm mad I'm not
This
on
is
that side of it.
I
Listen,
so wanted that FA Cup draw to land City Chelsea. I wanted that more than
God.
anything.
You are a mean person.
Make it 5. That would have been hilarious.
I think we're
Nobody
gonna
needs
get
that.
it. I think we're gonna get that
Oh,
final.
in the
we
final,
might.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, probably will. I hate
You're not
Chelsea. I
gonna
hate
believe
Royal
it,
Blue.
Timmy.
I hate Lions. I hate
Battle of the
everything to do with the damn
Lions.
club.
I hate cities.
Andre,
I
country
don't
boy
like people
confirmed.
named Chelsea. I don't know.
Meteor. Meteor. Meteor.
And this is perfect sign that we need to get out of here.
Chaos,
Yes, yes. We appreciate everybody. We will be here back. That's hilarious, Sharpie. We will see you all soon. We have the lit stream that is out. I will
Understandable,
share
Joe.
this
Understandable.
link to win a shirt from FanFest in City. The Show Bros will be doing the draw for this free shirt that you can win from us and FanFest during the watch along on Saturday. It doesn't matter what club you are. I'll even put it in the private chat. Just subscribe to FanFest. See you all soon. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady gang.